He's Hacker.
Talk about a fried egg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Monday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with RJ Saunders. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us on a Monday that finds the Jacksonville Jaguars 3-1 on the year for only the second time since 2008. The only other time in the last 17 years the Jaguars have started 3-1 was back in 2018. Ironically enough, I'll say it once tonight, and I won't say it again this week, I hope. Remember that 2018 team that started 3-1? The wheels came off of that team in week 5 when they played the Kansas City Chiefs. Except that game was at Arrowhead. This game, a week from tonight, will be at Everbank Stadium. But more on that in a moment. The Jaguars get their 5th win all-time in the Pacific time zone. The Jaguars get a much-needed road victory. And Liam Cohen gets a little street cred nationally for what he did at the end of the game. All around, it was a great day. Injury-wise, there are some concerns. Let me be the first to say I was wrong. Whenever I'm wrong, I will admit I'm wrong. I hope you guys know that. I picked San Francisco to win the game. I'm very happy that I was wrong. I will gladly take the L on that as the Jacksonville Jaguars go out to California and they defeat the 49ers. Guest lineup tonight looks like this. The head coach, Dave Campo. Little Monday night coaching with Campo as we review yesterday's game. Take an ever so brief look ahead to Kansas City. The Dave Campo report comes up. Monday night coaching with Campo. He joins me in about a half an hour. Also, it is Florida and Texas this week. Florida actually does play a football game. They're going to lose that football game because Billy Napier is still calling plays, and he's the head coach, and they're just not going to beat anybody any good as long as Billy Napier is doing that. But we will talk about Florida and Texas. We will talk about where it went wrong for Billy Napier. And maybe the more important question is who is going to replace Billy Napier. And we will do that with a former Florida All-American tight end. My buddy Ben Troop joins me in the 9 o'clock hour tonight. Also, Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, later on in the program. We are absolutely loaded. We are with you until 10 o'clock. And as always, Jacksonville, we are glad you are spending this victory Monday evening with us. Every night here on Hacker After Dark, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night. And RJ Saunders. Let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
No big deal.
It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
There are so many good things going on for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't even really know where to start. So I'm just going to kind of go rapid fire at things that I loved about yesterday and things that you should love about yesterday. Number one, the defense. This defense is for real. It's not a fluke anymore. I mean, we're 4 games in. We're not a quarter in or a game in or a game and a half in. I mean, we're 4 weeks in. October is coming up in a couple of days. We are into the NFL season, and this Jaguar defense has forced 13 turnovers in the last 4 games. Brock Purdy, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, in the losing effort to Jake Browning, but 3 turnovers apiece in the first 3 contests, and they got 4 from the 49ers yesterday. Defense is legit. Defense is for real. Devin Lloyd, man, you want to talk about a guy that is going to get paid this offseason? Probably by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. They still have a franchise tag. If he keeps playing like this, you don't let that guy leave. Are you kidding me? That guy has been nothing short of outstanding. Joshua Hines-Allen, great game yesterday. Devin Lloyd, we talked about. Eric Armstead going back to San Francisco, doing what he did. How about Dennis Gardeck forcing a turnover? Andrew Wingard recovering a fumble. Foye recovering a fumble. I mean, there are so many guys doing so many good things on this defense. It's a good sight, man. I love it. And Anthony Campanile, man, for being a first-time coordinator, outstanding job. Outstanding. Now, will this continue? Well, the law of averages will tell you it probably won't, right? I mean, there's no way you're going to keep forcing 3 and 4 turnovers a week. I would love for you to do it, but again, the law of averages tells you at some point that's just simply not going to happen, which is why it's good that maybe the offense is working out some of their kinks right now. The defense is carrying this team to an extent. Special teams as well. Parker Washington, 87-yard punt and return for a touchdown. Outstanding. The offense in the first half of these games has been pretty decent. They were good yesterday in the first half. They had a 13-play, 88-yard drive. Took 8 minutes off the clock, punched it in for a touchdown. We see ETN go 48 yards down the sideline for a touchdown. The second half yesterday was rough, man. Was rough for the offense. The penalties, ugh. Now, the good part is Trevor Lawrence didn't get sacked. In fact, I don't think the 49ers touched Trevor Lawrence when he was in the pocket. The only time Trevor actually got touched was on quarterback sneaks and scrambles and that sort of thing. So offensive line pass blocking was terrific. Run blocking was terrific. The passing game itself in the second half, ugh. Penalties, ugh. And Trevor Lawrence won the game. Love it, 3-1. Hard to complain about much. But can we not make the simple look so chaotic? At the end of the first half, you have no timeouts. Why are you throwing a 2-yard button hook in the middle of the field? Why? What purpose does that serve? 3 minutes to go, try to bleed the clock out, and you slide too late and go out of bounds to stop the clock? Are you kidding? I mean, what are we doing? That's ridiculous. Rookie quarterbacks don't do that, much less fifth-year guys. Again, 3-1. Trevor made some nice plays yesterday. But can we stop making the simple look so chaotic? It worked out. Jaguars got the win. But, man, it was a little bit tougher than it probably needed to be. ETN, just like Devin Lloyd. Contract year, he's been nothing short of sensational. Brian Thomas Jr., aside from not getting his foot in bounds in the first quarter, that was interesting. But aside from that, I thought he was very good. Travis Hunter made his best play as a Jaguar. That 3rd and 15 down the middle, that seam route, that was a big-time catch for Travis Hunter. And, of course, Brenton Strange continues to be the most reliable target on this offense. Brenton Strange has been terrific. So the players won the game. I'll tell you who won the day yesterday. And that was Liam Cohen. Man, look, I've been a Liam Cohen fan ever since they hired the guy. If you've listened to me every night, you know that I just love a lot of things about what Liam Cohen is doing here. Let me tell you 2 things that he's done here very quickly. Remember the last year and a half when the Jaguars went 5-18? You know why they went 5-18? Because they were getting pushed around. They were getting bullied. People were running on them. They weren't running the ball. They were not physically tough. They were not mentally tough. It was a fragile football team for the 23 games prior to Liam Cohen's arrival. And now all of a sudden, a month into the Liam Cohen tenure, you just go toe-to-toe with the San Francisco 49ers in their house, and in a physical battle, you probably were the more physical team. Last week, Houston, the bullies of the AFC South, right? The team that pushed you around twice last year. Heck, the team that pushed you around for the better part of the last 6, 7, 8 years. You physically whipped the Houston Texans last week. Liam Cohen in a very short amount of time has this team believing, confident, and beating up their opponent. The guy that was getting bullied, the team that was getting bullied, has now turned into the bully because of Liam Cohen. And with all that being said, yesterday at the end of the game, the interaction between he and Robert Saleh, I loved it. Robert Saleh is going to say what he did, and the national folks are saying, oh, he paid him a compliment. It was a compliment. It was not a compliment. He said, oh, it's a legal form of cheating, is basically what Robert Saleh said. When you use the term stealing, when you say stealing, that is not a compliment. I don't know how hard that is to understand. He kept saying, well, it was legal. It was legal. Okay, well, use another term than stealing. Because when you say, yeah, legally, they're signal stealing. They're very good at it. They like to steal signals. I'm sorry. That is not a compliment. And I don't blame Liam Cohen for being pissed about that. So then Robert Saleh yesterday tries to go up and shake his hand. Are you kidding me? You're going to run your mouth in the media and say that about Liam Cohen? Probably because you're upset that Liam Cohen has this job and not you. Remember, had Liam Cohen gone back to Tampa like was the original plan, who do you think Balky was going to hire? Balky was going to hire Robert Saleh, more than likely, or suggest that to Shad Khan. So I think it was sour grapes on Saleh's part for not getting this job. Liam Cohen getting this job after Cohen changed his mind, remember. So Saleh does what he does in the media, then wants to shake Liam Cohen's hand afterwards. The heck with that. I don't blame Cohen at all for that reaction. And every Jaguar fan I've talked to today loved it. When is the last time we had a coach with a little moxie, a little attitude, a little bravado? When's the last time we had a coach that would raise his backbone a little bit to somebody else? Urban Meyer? Doug Peterson? I mean, no offense to Marone, but he just wasn't kind of that guy either. Cohen's going to be a rock star here, man. He's going to be a rock star. Fans, if you don't love him already, which I don't know how you can't, you will in due time. Because I think he has brought an attitude, a bravado, whatever you want, whatever verbiage you want to use, a confidence, physicality. He's turned the Jaguars into the team that's bullying other teams, not the team that's been bullied for the better part of the last 10 to 15 years. And it is an awesome sight to see. 641-1010 on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Your thoughts always welcome. We'll get more into the game. What went wrong? What didn't go wrong? How are the injuries going to affect the Jaguars moving forward? We'll also keep you updated on Monday Night Football. The Jets and the Dolphins nearing halftime. Miami up 10-0. Cincinnati and Denver about to kick off. It's a Monday Night Football doubleheader tonight. We will keep you updated. Also, the head coach, Dave Campo, joins me in less than 20 minutes. A Monday evening, a glorious victory Monday evening here in Jacksonville, Florida. We're glad you're with us. More to do. We're with you till 10 o'clock right here. Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
A high-performance machine raises eyebrows and holds your attention.
I play big-time football on a big-time stage.
And so it is with the Performance Painting high-performance play of the game.
Somebody got to make a play.
On 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's OSJAX.com.
Get the best soccer talk on the First Coast on the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor discuss the beautiful game Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Laugh to defeat prostate cancer at the Comedy and Cocktails Awareness event featuring music, food, drinks, and of course comedy. October 2nd at the Jesse Ball DuPont Center.
If you suspect someone you know may be a victim of domestic violence, the Hubbard House is here to help. The Hubbard House offers a 24/7 hotline, emergency shelter, and resources for victims and their families. You can find help at hubbardhouse.org.
The average cost associated with childhood cancer is a startling $833,000. This is Tom Coughlin, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Help the J Fund raise awareness to help our neighbors and community members tackling this devastating disease. Visit tcjfund.org/September for more information.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Frank Franzi talking turf. I tuned into topdressing.com ads on 1010XL. I've heard the buzz and decided to meet their team. Well, they're spot on and they're top dressing my yard soon. And I can't wait. Make your St. Augustine grass rival fairways. Even, healthy, resilient. And as a golfer, I get it. Improves aeration, adds nutrients, white glove service, thorough. Personalized plans. Like I said, I'm in. I'm doing it and you can too. Join in. Dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Parker backs up, fields it at the 15-yard line. Made a man miss, 25-yard line, 30-yard line. That's good return for Parker. Walker still on feet, 50, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Parker Washington just brought it all the way back, and the Jags have extended the lead.
Frank Frangi, Jaguars Radio. Yesterday, Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara, California. Parker Washington, an 87-yard punt return for a touchdown. That's the second punt return for touchdown in Parker Washington's career. Remember last year in London, he had, I believe, a 96-yard return for touchdown. He is a dynamic punt returner, and he gets it done yesterday to help the Jaguars to a 26-21 victory over the San Francisco 49ers. Again, 3-1 on the year. And that really is a crazy stat. That from 2008 to now, what are we talking about? 17 years, basically? 18 seasons? The Jaguars have only the second time in that time frame have begun a year 3-1. The last time it happened was in 2018 when the Jaguars started 3-1 with Blake Bortles and crew a year after going to the AFC Championship game there in 2017. So yesterday in San Francisco, there was a lot of good, there was some bad, and there was some head scratching. Quickly again to the good. The running game, right? How many conversations did we have, not only on this show, but on every show here on 1010XL? Would the running game that Liam Cohen had in Tampa follow him to Jacksonville? Who would be his Bucky Irving? Can the Jaguar offensive line do what the Tampa Bay offensive line did last year? Well, 4 weeks in, and the Jaguars have one of the best rushing attacks in football. And what's encouraging about that is even when you ask Liam Cohen, he would be the first to tell you that the Tampa Bay running attack really didn't get going until over a month into the season last year. Well, if that's true and the Jaguars have done this already in the first month, could it be even better moving forward? I know there was a lot of criticism here locally. You can say you didn't, but I know some of you did. People are going, well, who's Robert Hainsey, right? Patrick McCarry, who's that? Chuma Edoga, who are these guys? Well, Robert Hainsey is the starting center of maybe one of the best offensive lines in football right now. Patrick McCarry at guard, I didn't notice him at all yesterday. You know what that means? It means he was probably doing his job and doing it well. 9 times out of 10, the only time you ever notice offensive linemen is either when they're getting beat for sacks or they're getting penalties. I didn't notice McCarry at all yesterday, which means he wasn't getting beat for sacks and he wasn't committing a whole lot of penalties. Again, 2 really good free agent signings. And then Anton Harrison leaves the game with an elbow. In comes Chuma Edoga. So there was a point of the game yesterday where your right tackle, your right guard, and your center were all new, all in their first year in Game 4 of the Jaguar organization for all 3 of them. And the holes they were opening for ETN, the pass protection they gave Trevor Lawrence, again, not sexy household names. I'm sure a lot of you didn't run out and buy season tickets when they signed Chuma Edoga or Patrick McCarry or Robert Hainsey, but you know what they did do with those signings? What did James Gladstone preach the entire offseason? They raised the floor of the roster. Yeah, they did. I mean, are you kidding? If the Jaguars had any offensive line injuries last year, they were cooked, man. Cooked. Not the case this year. When Anton left the game, you didn't even really know he was gone because they were still running effectively when Edoga came in there at right tackle. So the running game was fantastic. Brenton Strange has been terrific 4 games into year number 3. I'm not going to throw stones in a glass house. I'll raise my hand with you. When they drafted Brenton Strange in the 2023 draft, I had no idea who this guy was. Not a clue. And I know it's almost sacrilegious football-wise here in Jacksonville to give Trent Baalke credit for anything. But I'll give him credit for Brenton Strange. Appears to be a really good pick because Brenton Strange has been fantastic. One of the best tight ends in the league to this point. The guy had 7 targets yesterday. He caught 6 of them. Some key third downs as well. Brenton Strange, very, very impressive. The passing game. De'Ami Brown did not play yesterday. But Brian Thomas Jr. showed glimpse of the BTJ we saw last year. No drops. Would have had over 60 yards receiving had he got his second foot in bounds. You got to work on that. You got to get 2 feet in bounds there on that third down in the first quarter. That was disappointing. But outside of that, 5 grabs for 49 yards? If he gets another foot in bounds, it's 6 grabs for over 60 yards. Started to see some glimpses of the BTJ of a year ago. Travis Hunter made his best play as a Jaguar. That 3rd and 15 for 28 yards and a first down, that was a big boy catch, man. That was a fantastic catch. And you hope as we get longer into the season, more drawn out into the season, we will be able to see Travis Hunter go more vertical, get further down the field, be able to become a playmaker in this Liam Cohen offense. Again, Trevor, I thought there was some good and some bad. There was some good. A couple of the throws he made on third downs, right on. The bad was, the play before the field goal to end the first half, you can't do that. You can't do that if you're a rookie quarterback, much less if you're in year 5. The Jaguars were lucky to even get a field goal there. And then sliding down, I know people say, well, his butt cheek landed in the field of play, so the clock should have run. Well, don't even leave it up to the official. Don't even put the official in that situation. Why are you running that far over to the sideline? Get what you can, but go down well before the numbers to keep that clock moving down to the 2-minute warning. Don't even give the official an option to stop the clock. Because if you give them an option, you can see what potentially happens. Another good is Hunter Long, right? Hunter Long had a touchdown catch yesterday, his second of his career, and the second he's had in the last 4 weeks. Both of his touchdowns in his career have come here in the first month in Jacksonville. But Hunter Long made the biggest catch of the day. He made the biggest catch of the day because it was the final catch of the day. On that third down when the Jaguars had to have it, if that pass is incomplete or if they're short, that sets up a really interesting situation on fourth down at the 2-minute warning or a little before. But Hunter Long, great play call by Liam Cohen, got the ball, first down, slid down, game over. How satisfying was it in San Francisco's home stadium, which, by the way, they don't lose there an awful lot, at least in recent memory. This incarnation of San Francisco, the last 5 or so years, they don't lose a lot of home games. So that's a big win for Jacksonville. How satisfying was it coming out of the 2-minute timeout to know the game was over? You took 3 knees and you got out of there with the W. 3-1 on the year. Fantastic. Defensively, what do you say about Devin Lloyd that I didn't say in the first segment? The guy is going to be Defensive Player of the Week in the AFC. I can't imagine him not being it. He had 8 tackles, tackle for loss, 2 interceptions. If Devin Lloyd is not the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, I don't know what to tell you. I thought the secondary was good. The depth at safety. Look, Rayon Lane had to come in there, and I thought the rookie out of Navy held himself pretty well. You know, you did get some injuries. Eric Murray left the game. Antonio Johnson left and came back. Foye Oluokun was in and out the entire game with issues. The big one is Trayvon Walker. If you have not heard, Trayvon Walker is going to go to a wrist specialist. He injured his wrist yesterday, did not return. The thought is it is not season ending, but that's all the information that we have. So, what are we talking about here? Are we talking short-term IR? Could he be back after the bye week? Is it a situation where you could put a club on it and play? Kind of like we saw Chad Muma do in the preseason when he was still with the Jaguars. That was more of a finger-hand situation, not the wrist. I don't know. I'm not a medical person. What I do know is if you're going to make a list of 5 or 6 guys you cannot afford to lose for a prolonged period of time, if you're the Jaguars, well, Trayvon Walker is absolutely on that list. So that is concerning, and we'll get more information on Thursday this week. The first injury report won't be released until Thursday because of the Monday night situation against Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. And that brings me to the Chiefs, and we'll obviously do this all week. You know, the narrative 2 weeks ago was that the Jaguars couldn't beat Houston in Jacksonville. Houston had won 9 out of the last 10 in Jacksonville. And the Jaguars did something about that. The narrative last week is the Jaguars couldn't win on the West Coast. 4-15 lifetime on the West Coast. And the Jaguars went and did something about that. And now the narrative going into next Monday night is twofold. Number one, the Jaguars have been awful on national TV in the last couple of years. I mean, brutally bad. Remember national TV last year in Buffalo? That was a joke, man. 47-10 on Monday night last year. A joke. 2023, the loss on Sunday night to Baltimore here. The Monday night loss to Cincinnati where Lawrence got hurt. The Jaguars and the fan base, we've all clamored to be on national TV, to let the nation see us. Well, the last couple of times the nation has seen us, the Jaguars haven't put on that good of a performance. That's one of the talking points. The second one, haven't beat the Chiefs in forever, man. Now, a lot of teams can say that. The Jaguars have never beat Mahomes, as in ever. Obviously, the 2022 playoffs, the 2023 regular season. I go back to 2018, before Mahomes. I don't think Mahomes was there then. Might have. It was close. I don't think he was. That was the last time the Jaguars started 3-1. 2018. Game 5, week 5. That was that game at Arrowhead. And the season came tumbling down like a tower of cards after that game in week 5 against Kansas City. Ironically enough, here the Jaguars are again, 3-1, week 5. They're going to be playing Kansas City. This time it's at Everbank Stadium, not at Arrowhead. More on the Chiefs as the week goes on, but it's about narratives again. The Jaguars stopped the narrative about Houston 2 weeks ago. They stopped the narrative about the West Coast last week. Can they stop the narrative about the Chiefs and about poor performance on national TV? To be determined. But I like the direction they're going. There's no doubt. You had Indianapolis lose yesterday as well. So the Colts and the Jags, 3-1, tied atop the AFC South 4 weeks in to the 2025 season. Monday Night Football going on. Dolphins still lead the Jets 10-0. Nearing halftime. Welcome back to the NFL, Darren Waller. How about Darren Waller, the former tight end of the Raiders, now with the Dolphins, scores a touchdown tonight for Miami. They lead the Jets 10-0, and they are midway through the first quarter in Denver. Cincinnati, an early 3-0 lead on the Broncos. We will keep you updated. Coming up next, a little Monday night coaching with Campo. My buddy Dave Campo, former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You get him very, very often here on Hacker After Dark. Let's talk about the Jaguars' 3-1 start. Let's look back on San Francisco. Let's take a little bit of a preview to Mahomes in Kansas City. And we'll do that with Dave Campo next. On a Monday evening here in Northeast Florida, Jacksonville, we're glad you're with us. It's Hacker After Dark.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Want a fresh and flavorful tailgate this season? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad perfect for lunch, parties, and your tailgate. Order 3 ways at one of 4 area locations. Call 1-833-MY-CHICK or online at chickcatering.com.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served up by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big...
Whoa! See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of shaving and waxing? At Hello Smooth Med Spa, laser hair removal permanently reduces hair growth for smooth, stubble-free skin. It's life-changing. With over 400 5-star reviews, they're Jacksonville's trusted choice. Learn more at hellosmooth.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker, After Dark, on 1010XL. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. The Jaguars are 3-1 for only the second time, going all the way back to 2008 after a win out in San Francisco, only their 5th win ever in the Pacific time zone. And now they come home for Monday Night Football 1 week from tonight, welcoming in Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk about the 3-1 start. Let's talk about a big win in San Francisco. And let's take an ever so brief look ahead to next Monday night with the head coach, Dave Campo. You hear him all over the 1010XL airwaves. The coach is relocated to Dallas, but he's never more than just a phone call away. And Coach is certainly fired up for the Jaguars' 3-1 start. Coach, how are you, my friend?
Hey, listen, I'm good. And obviously I'm good whenever the football season's going on. But the way the Jaguars are doing it right now, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the direction that they're going. And I think really bigger things are set for this football team down the road.
You know, you and I spoke after Cincinnati, and that was the one blemish on the year so far. And, Coach, the last 2 games, Houston and then yesterday against San Francisco, the Jaguars don't win those games last year. In fact, I don't know in the last 15 years how many times they would have won those games, but they're finding ways to win. By the way, without playing particularly well, at least on offense, they're finding ways to win in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you know, that's the mark of a good football team. I mean, I think, you know, a lot of these games, listen, about 3/4 of them are decided in the fourth quarter. So, you know, if you find a way to get those games done, that's how you win football games. And to me, they've shown that they are resilient. They show that they're, you know, on point in the fourth quarter, and that's going to be important going forward for sure.
The head coach, Dave Campo, with us here on Hacker After Dark. Coach, you have told me some classic stories over the years about some interactions you've had with other coaches on the field after games. Yesterday, Liam Cohen obviously was not thrilled with Robert Saleh's comments about the whole signal stealing situation. Got into it, a little word altercation with Robert Saleh. There was a video of it that pretty much tells you everything you need to know. Cohen kind of bowed up, and I don't blame him. Saleh, ridiculous, said what he said last week, then wanted to come up and shake Liam Cohen's hand. Are you kidding me? I was so happy for Liam Cohen to get that win, and I think the Jaguar fans are absolutely eating up the fact that Cohen's got a little moxie to him in that video.
Well, there's no question about that. Obviously, I was probably the worst one at that. I think there is something between coaches, the competitiveness, you try to do things the right way, and really things said in the media are not the way to go about it. And I think, obviously, there must be something going on there. Listen, Cohen has proven to me already that he's not afraid to say what's on his mind. And that's the transparency he has. But even that deal with where he slapped his chest on telling Trevor to put the ball on a guy in one of the last ball games, those kind of things resonate with the team. He's a guy that obviously he believes in what they're doing, and he's not one to go and give any other team fodder in the media, but at the same time he's going to tell it like it is, and I'm happy for him as well. I think he's doing a great job.
Coach, you're a defensive guy. Let's talk about your bread and butter, the defensive side of the ball. And how about the Jaguars? Through 4 games, they have forced 13 turnovers, including getting 4 takeaways yesterday in San Francisco. Coach, why is the defense getting their hands on the ball so often?
Well, first of all, they're in the right place at the right time, and that's something that they've missed. That to me is coaching and guys responding to what they're being coached. That combination is pretty good. Now, it's a little bit of a catch-22 hack because, a lot of times turnovers come in bunches. One of the reasons that we're winning these games is the turnovers. If they have to continue, but you want to put yourself in the best position to make those when you have the opportunity, and they've been able to do that. When you look at the defensive performance, they did give up over 300 yards. And, this isn't a perfect defense right now, but it is perfect that they're not beating themselves. And I think that's extremely important. And I think it kind of goes to the mentality of what they've done from the beginning in training camp and OTAs of trying to punch the ball out, trying to do those things. The interceptions are coming with a little bit of pressure and guys being in the right spot. Devin Lloyd is playing out of his mind. I don't know whether or not it's a contract year or whether or not he lost some weight. I don't know what it is, but they're using him in the right way. But he's doing it whether he's rushing a passer or whether he's getting himself into position to make some plays in the passing game.
Coach, they're getting the ball turned over by the opposing team, and they're running the football on offense. Again, we talk about this entire offseason. Can Liam Cohen bring what he did in Tampa last year? Can he bring that to Jacksonville? Well, through 4 games, so far so good, because Travis Etienne has looked absolutely spectacular, and that offensive line is opening up gaping holes for him.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. That's the difference to me offensively. We're not beating ourselves. We're consistent, and it starts with the running game. The running game is you've heard me say this 100 times, that I thought that would be the difference in ball games, and it certainly is at this point. And the thing that excites me about Etienne is the one thing he doesn't have a lot of what I call juju. Making guys miss in the open field and doing all that kind of stuff. He has great acceleration. And when you're running a gap scheme running game, it's based on hitting the hole full speed. And that's what he does. If he gets himself into position in the open field where he can just outrun guys, he's going to do that. But the key thing is the consistent running game is when you get the 6-7 yard runs, when you hit a double team off of a double team and a kick out. And that's what they're doing with them. I felt that was going to be a plus from day one, and it certainly has been. And it really takes the pressure off the quarterback to have to make perfect throws all the time. And I think that's where it's at right now. And as long as Trevor, and listen, don't slight the offensive line for pass protection, because they're doing a good job. They're giving Trevor a chance to step up and make some throws. Trevor's got to continue to get better. Everybody's got to continue to get better. But the makings of a good offensive football team are there, in my opinion.
Final moments with the head coach, Dave Campo. Yeah, I don't believe Trevor was touched in the pocket yesterday. He wasn't sacked, and I don't believe San Francisco registered a quarterback hit when Trevor was in the pocket, which is a great job by the offensive line. Coach, there's no doubt, though, it was certainly not flawless. The penalties, you got to do something about those. I mean, the penalties are becoming a problem, are they not?
Yes, and you know, some of that, you know, you get some holding penalties every once in a while, you know, when you're playing against good players and there's a chance of your quarterback getting hit. So I can see that every once in a while, but you know, we're getting too many penalties, and we're still getting shift every once in a while, and that comes with continued practice of what you're trying to get accomplished, and the creativity of our offensive coaches on putting guys in positions to make plays. Guys have to be really sharp as far as when they're in motion, not going to the line of scrimmage too fast before the ball snapped. Things like that, you know, situations where you got two guys moving at the same time. Those things have got to be eliminated. Obviously, I think the penalties have probably caused us to maybe score as many points as we could have in a ball game. So, you know, that compared with the drops, which the drops last week kind of ended this week, which is great. You just got to clean those things up.
Coach, as we begin to wrap up, this team had lost 18 of their previous 23 games coming into the year. They're now 3-1. A team that was used to losing is now beginning to get used to winning a little bit. And you can see in the post-game locker room, some of the comments being made, that there is a confidence growing with this roster.
No question about it. And confidence is really important in this league. You know, you have to feel like when the game's on the line, you have guys that are capable of making plays to win the football game. And, you know, that's what turnovers do. You get that confidence. It just makes you want to work harder. The effort of getting around the football. One of the things that defense is doing better this year than I've seen them in a long time is tackling in the open field. Those are things that are developed in the confidence that, hey, I'm going to make this tackle in the open field. I'm going to get the guy on the ground. That's the way it is. And so, you know, all those things tie into having a chance to win a football game. And I think this team is growing in that area. And it's also buying into the coaching staff, which I think this team has.
Final moments with the head coach, Dave Campo. All right, Coach, as we wrap up, 1 week from tonight, Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City come in here. Jacksonville, well, they just don't beat Kansas City. They haven't beat Kansas City for a long, long time. And look, you know, it's interesting. Leon Searcy brought this up on the fifth quarter last night. You know, 2 weeks ago, the Jaguars hadn't beat Houston at home in, 7 years or whatever it was. And that streak came to an end. Last week, it was all about the Jaguars not winning on the West Coast. And that streak has now come to an end. Now the narrative will be, well, they can't beat the Chiefs, plus they play awful on national television, which is true. The last couple of times they've been on national TV, it's been downright embarrassing. You think about Buffalo last year. You think about Baltimore here in 2023, Cincinnati here in 2023. They're on national TV again against a Kansas City team that has found themselves the last 2 weeks. But this is another opportunity for Jacksonville to buck the narrative, if you will, about this team.
Well, it's all about growth. You know, it's all about doing things that, you know, if you're going to have a good team, you got to do some things that hadn't been done in a while. And this team has proven that it can do that. If I'm not wrong, I think the other thing they broke was they were something like 18 of 19 losses on the road or something like that. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, they were 1-11 in their last 12 true road games.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't know what the stat was, but I knew it was bad one way or another. But, this team has proven that they're not thinking about what's happened in the past. They're looking forward. And I think it's all about growth. It's all about, understanding that every game is different. We're not going to be favored in this game against Kansas City, even though we're 3-1. That's just the way it works. But at the same time, if you have the confidence that you can go into a game and show who you are, that's going to go a long way. So it's going to be a tough ball game. Kansas City's a good football team. The quarterback is probably one of the best in history. So, we've got a job in front of us, but I feel this team has shown resiliency and ability to do those things. I'm looking forward to the football game, just like I did with the San Francisco game. I thought we had a chance to win that game, and we did.
The head coach, Dave Campo. Coach, how's Dallas treating you?
Other than, getting banged up a little bit over here, I fell down and got a big hematoma that I'm getting taken care of. But other than that, everything's going good.
Well, Coach, we miss you on the fifth quarter. Gerald Ingram, though, is doing a terrific job for us, and we certainly appreciate you joining us as often as you do. We'll talk again soon here on Hacker After Dark, my friend.
You bet it. And listen, I came really close to calling you last night on the post game, but I'll probably call in sometime just to give you, Ingram, and Leon a little guff.
Well, needless to say, you have a backdoor line. You can call anytime, pal. There's absolutely no question about that. Thank you, Coach.
You got it. Have a great one, Hack.
It's the power of the spoken word and your imagination.
Daniel Murphy waits on the 0-1, and there's a drive. Deep right field. That ball's gone.
1010XL, your radio home for play-by-play.
Daniel Murphy.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Florida Gators football on 1010XL is driven by Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors, and the law firm of Farah and Farah. Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high-interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe he's got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, you name it, we've litigated it.
And while insurance companies joke about the mayhem that occurs on roadways, we've seen the real effects. Lost lives, catastrophic injury, cars crushed like soda cans. And trust us, there's nothing funny about it.
If you've been in a crash, count on our experienced attorneys to seek full justice and all the money your case is worth.
For a fairer fight, you know who to call. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Hey, so why do we tee off? Tee it high and let it fly.
He's got a beautiful backswing.
Oh, he got all of that one.
Tour news, local updates, and the latest gear. Cut a few strokes off your game Saturday mornings at 10 with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour on 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. I always brag on what you guys have on-road and off-road. But Greg, tell everybody about what's happening on the water, because you got loads of opportunity.
We do. We've got lots of boats in stock. We got the Honda 19-foot Fisher Runabout. We've got the Coach pontoons, all of them with that legendary Honda motor and legendary Honda reliability, which you always want when you're out on the water.
You could be cruising along the Intercoastal or out on the ocean, but check it out. Facebook page ready for all of you to see. Cycles of Jacksonville, or their showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Hey, Hicken here. Celebrate the month of September with our friends at Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus the 4th room free. Take $100 off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online at zerosjacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. Glad you're with us. Former Gator All-American tight end Ben Troop joins us in less than 10 minutes. There actually is a pretty interesting college football game in Gainesville on Saturday between Florida and Texas, although no one's really talking about the game. It's all about who's going to replace Billy Napier. We'll get there in one moment. There is a doubleheader of Monday Night Football, and I will tell you, I think a pretty significant injury just took place. The Jets and the Dolphins right now in the third quarter. The Dolphins lead 10-3. Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins was just carted off the field. I'm no medically trained personnel, but I can tell you that he ran an out pattern, caught the ball on the sideline, and it did not look good for his leg after a hit. The cart came out. Obviously, he's not going to return tonight, but on the heels of Malik Neighbors likely being out for the year with an ACL, it appears Tyreek Hill is in a major issue as well, injury-wise, for the Dolphins. He was in high spirits leaving. He had a smile on his face, but he was being carted off. And as we're talking, Miami has just punched one in the end zone. Darren Waller again. Welcome back to the NFL, Darren Waller, his second touchdown of the night. Miami about to go up 17-3 on the Jets. Meanwhile, Bo Nix has scored a rushing touchdown for Denver. They lead Cincinnati 7-3 late in the first quarter. We will certainly keep you updated. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock. As we talked about earlier, back into the Jaguars in a little bit. Jordan DeLugo of Generation Jaguar joins me towards the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. Coming up next, former All-American tight end at the University of Florida, Ben Troop. What a college football Saturday we have in store. First off, we got Miami and Florida State in Tallahassee. Maybe a little luster is off because the Seminoles were upset by Virginia. But nevertheless, the Hurricanes and the Seminoles on Saturday night should be spectacular theater in the state capitol. Before then, 3:30 in Gainesville, the Texas Longhorns come in. Look, Texas and Florida, that should be an enormous game. That should be a crazy atmosphere. That should be a game that we've all been looking forward to for months and years on end. And honestly, I'm going to have to work my way up into getting excited about that. Florida's not going to win on Saturday. They're not going to beat Texas. The offense is awful. The defense is hurt. At some point, the levee's going to break on the defense because the offense is giving them no help. Billy Napier flat out refuses to hand over play calling. He's going to call the plays again. It's an abysmal offense. DJ Lagway's awful. And all people are talking about is who is going to replace Billy Napier. So I'm going to throw that, all of it, every single bit of that, at a former All-American tight end, Ben Troop at the University of Florida, and I'm going to get his reaction. Why did it not work for Billy in Gainesville? What's wrong with DJ Lagway? Who is going to replace Billy in Gainesville? And all points in between. Gator fans, college football fans, we'll do a deep dive with Ben Troop, who is an All-American at the University of Florida. That conversation is next as we are at halftime on Hacker After Dark. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock. As always, we're glad you're with us. It's 1010XL and it's 92.5 FM.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
The judge swings a gavel and I pound the hammer. I'm not judging, just hammering. Hammer time with Hayes Carlyon, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic. 1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we send Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com. Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need. Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline.
It's not just annoying when your toilet keeps running long after you flush, it's also costly because it could waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. A running toilet's often caused by worn out flappers, corroded valves, or a faulty float. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will fix the problem fast, which can help lower your water bill. Stop the running and start saving today. Make the superior choice when your toilet won't stop running, and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. He's Hacker, after dark, on 1010XL. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Boy, what a football weekend we have in store for us. You got the big one between Florida State and Miami. You got Florida hosting Texas. And, of course, next Monday night, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs come in to play now the 3-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's talk about it with Ben Troop, a former All-American tight end at the University of Florida. Ben's always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Ben, how we doing, man?
Man, doing good. I get a chance to see what my Florida Gators are made of. 2 weeks removed from that Miami debacle, but I am looking forward to the college football and NFL weekend.
Yeah, we'll obviously spend a lot of time on Billy Napier and the Texas game, but let's talk about the positive things here in Northeast Florida first, Ben, and that's the Jaguars, man. 3-1 after a big win out in San Francisco on Sunday. Your thoughts as a former NFL player? I know you keep tabs on the NFL. You're a former Titan, certainly. Your thoughts on the Jaguars and how they've started this year at 3-1?
Very impressed. I mean, Liam Cohen is obviously a guy who definitely knows offense. You want to see how he was going to be being, the face of the, the CEO of the franchise, that being the head coach. And I mean, so far, so good. I mean, I'm still trying to see what's going on with Travis Hunter on offense. I mean, they find a way to try to give him the ball a little bit more, on Sunday. But I just think that when you look at this Jaguars team, you look at them in the AFC South, you look at what the Colts, they come up on the losing end against the Rams. It's going to come down to the Jags and the Colts, in my opinion. I know that Houston was able to get a big win, but it was against the Titans. So I don't know if beating the Titans these days even count, towards or for, or against you. But I've been very, very impressed with what the Jags are doing. I mean, got rid of Tank Bigsby at the right time. I think Trevor Lawrence is finding a way to make plays, keeping them ahead of the chains, not trying to play hero football. And it's been a team effort to go on the road against a team like San Francisco, who obviously people think is going to be in the mix for an NFC West title or an NFC, a playoff contender. I think it was really, really impressive to have them go on the road with Brock Purdy back into the lineup and to get a big dub.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about that. The first time they've ever won in San Francisco, and they were only 5-14 lifetime in the Pacific time zone, so it was a big, big deal for Jacksonville to go out there and get it done. All right, let's talk about Florida, I guess, right? Your alma mater. Ben, it's a disaster, man. I mean, look, I think you and I both like Billy Napier, you being a former player, me being just an observer in the media. I like Billy. He's a guy that I'd go have a beer and a hamburger with and talk football, talk about life. I'm just at the point now where I don't really want him to be the head coach of Florida anymore. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later because the offense that they're running down there is just, well, Ben, quite frankly, it's awful, is it not?
It is. It's abysmal. It's hard to watch most of the time, Ryan, because there is no continuity. There is no structure. There is no identity. You don't know what you're going to get. It's like from series to series, like a total different team that's running out there. Now, I realize that the mind of DJ Lagway right now, he's in a walking boot. I don't know if he's still in it or not, has been the biggest question mark because the defense, finally is playing really, really well. I mean, you look at what they did or didn't let Carson Beck do. You look at what they did or didn't let Nussmeier do it. Back-to-back weeks, nothing to show for it. So when you talk about this team, it's going to go as DJ Lagway goes. But just like, not to give him any credit, Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Titans, he stepped away from play calling ability. Now you're looking at a guy like, Billy Napier. The one thing that has been apparent for 4 years, he is not good at calling plays. But because he's the head coach, nobody can make him step down. Nobody can fire him from that position. And I think as long as he is at the helm of calling plays, and as long as he's the head coach, it's going to be an even longer season, even if you try to, do the unthinkable and beat them Texas boys come Saturday.
Former Gator All-American tight end Ben Troop with us here on 1010XL. Ben, as far as the defense goes, there's going to be a breaking point when you get no help from the offense. And at a certain point, that'll become a problem in the locker room, will it not?
It probably already has, Ryan. I mean, but I know you got guys like Sapp and company who, and Pup Howard and those guys, they're not going to make waves. I mean, not to throw any salt in the wound, but, former Gators like myself saying things about, the team when we understand that our voices and what we say is going to make national media depending on who's saying it. I think those players are kind of keeping a pulse of what is going on around them. They're saying, look, we're going to keep private conversations private. We're going to keep frustrations low, and we're going to keep a positive mentality high because, Ryan, if somebody does say something on the defense, I mean, with how much media attention the Florida Gators get, not just Paul Finebaum, not just yourself, not just myself, it's already a media storm going on down there in Gainesville. You don't want to add any more fuel to the fire.
Ben, there have been certain players like yourself that have come out on social media and maybe stirred up the pod, what's going on in the Gator locker room regarding DJ Lagway, preferential treatment or whatever you want to call it. Here's my question. At a certain point, if this continues, don't you have to put Tramel Jones in?
Absolutely. I mean, I think what's scary about college football is we look at what guys were. He was a former 5-star, Gatorade National Player of the Year. But he's still one player. And if one player is hurting the team, you got to do what's best for the team. That's why when it comes to recruiting and you're trying to decide, we got to get this guy. Well, if that guy is not helping the team, sometimes you got to put him on the bench and see if the guy behind him, and most of the time, just like I know, Ryan, it's injury. But sometimes it's not. I mean, we found out who Caleb Williams was because Spencer Rattler was not playing well when Spencer Rattler was one of the number one, if not the number one recruit coming out in Oklahoma. I think when you look at a guy like DJ Lagway, you're not helping him by putting him in every week because he's not getting better. You got to see what's really going on because outside of last year's bowl game, the first real games he played it because he didn't play in the spring. He really didn't play in the summer. He played like a couple of weeks before the season. I really don't know what's going on with DJ Lagway. Obviously, I'm rooting for the young man, but just like I know, Ryan, if he doesn't play well, there's another DJ that played for Florida State that people are comparing this DJ to. I don't think that's fair or unfair. I just think it's the reality of the situation. If you're not the guy for the job right now, you need to move over for the next guy.
Former All-American at the University of Florida, Ben Troop, with us here on 1010XL. Ben, the bottom line is people are more interested in who the next head coach is going to be instead of the Texas game, which is unfortunate, but it's kind of where we are. It's a matter of when, not if. It seems Billy Napier is relieved of his duties. Let's go to your state, the state of Georgia. Brent Key is a name that keeps coming up. Now, I know Gator fans want Lane Kiffin. Ben, I'm trying to tell Gator fans that's la-la land to me. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if Lane would even leave, and quite frankly, I don't know if Lane is very high on Scott Strickland's list. I think Gator fans need to make peace with that. What about Brent Key, though? Is that an intriguing name for you?
It is an intriguing name, and I think the thing about it is people got to ask themselves this. Would Brent Key be a really, really good hire? Yes. Do Brent Key know what it's really, really like to coach at Florida? No. Lane Kiffin would be an exceptional hire. But would he know what it's like to coach at Florida? No. And that's the thing. It's not that the Florida Gator job is not, very, very attractive. People can see what goes on. I mean, you look at, people are really, really looking at what happened with Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen never, ever was accused of not being a good coach. He was not good at being a good recruiter. But he took him to an SEC championship game. I mean, Jim McElwain, even if the East was down, went to an SEC championship game. You look at a guy like Dan Mullen who got a shot, right? Billy Napier, it's just not happening. The Brent Keys of the world, head coach of Georgia Tech right now. It's going to be a lot of names, when it's all said and done, Ryan. But I think the thing that Scott Strickland got to understand is this. Just because you want to replace Billy Napier, you got to replace him with the guy who's going to be here for the next 5 to 10 years. Because every time you switch to a new coach, that's a new culture. You got to go through the growing pains. You got to be able to willing to lose recruits. So it's a lot that goes into it. But Scott Strickland has not earned the trust of Gator Nation right now with his decision making, because there were some rumors that in 2024 there was some type of booster event that a bunch of boosters came and said, "Listen, we willing to buy out Billy Napier right now and try to go after Lane Kiffin," and Scott Strickland shut it down. Now, I'm not Scott Strickland. This is why I do what I do and he does what he does. But he going to have to find a way to get the next guy right, because as of right now, Scott Strickland is about as good at picking coaches as Mike Tomlin is picking quarterbacks. And I mean that in a respectful way.
Yeah, I mean, he hit with Todd Golden, but that's probably the only one, certainly. And then the Lane Kiffin thing, again, I don't know if Lane would leave Ole Miss. And like you said, I don't know if Lane is at the top of Scott Strickland's list. Quickly, you're obviously very well connected in the state of Georgia. Would Brent Key leave his alma mater in Georgia Tech, do you think, to come to Florida if it came to that?
He would have to consider it. He would have to consider, because here's the thing, right? That's how you used to be, you try to be able to, get a hot shot head coach or a hot shot offensive or defensive coordinator. It depends on how much smoke he likes. If he likes smoke, he will come to Florida. But if he's comfortable with what he's doing at Georgia Tech, with what he's doing in Atlanta, because Georgia Tech is not on the same stratosphere as far as like expectations, and I mean that respectfully. They doing really, really good in the ACC right now. Hopefully they can keep it up. They undefeated right now. But I just think that the heat at Florida is just a bit different. The heat at all three of the big three schools in the state of Florida is different. I mean, you look at what Miami is doing. You look at what Florida State just lost to, Virginia, and how they already coming for Mike Norvell's head. You cannot win for losing in the state of Florida. But if Brent Key does end up being the guy, and man, I hope he's ready for what comes with being the head coach of the University of Florida.
I guess the other name that's being out there is Drinkowitz from Missouri. What would your thoughts be there?
I mean, when Drinkowitz first came into the SEC, he was still thinking that he was in the Sun Belt, but he has proven to be an exceptional head coach at Mizzou. I mean, they done went to 2 SEC championship games, I think, since he's been there. I have been very impressed with Drinkowitz. I think he's a guy that, he's not going to win a lot of press conferences, but he wins a lot of games, and he's had his way with Florida over the years. I would have to consider it because he's winning the SEC right now, and he's doing it in a part of the country where he doesn't get the same level of recruits, but he's finding a way to win with the guys. So if this was when he first got hired, I would have blamed absolutely not. But since he's been there, he's outperformed most coaches, not just in the country, but definitely the SEC, and he's winning games. So I would definitely consider him because he understands the landscape now. He gets the resources, and obviously backing of a University of Florida behind him.
Final moments with Ben Troop. As far as the game on Saturday, I mean, Florida's not going to win, right? I mean, what are your thoughts about the Texas game?
I look at the Texas game as similar like I look at the Miami game, like I look at the LSU game, like we talked about before the season, Ryan. Sometimes it's how you look in a losing effort. I mean, because it's going to be hard for them to get a big win. And I realize that it ain't in the same way, but Arch Manning hasn't really lived up to the billing either. I mean, I don't think he's getting the swagger back from the last team they played. So hopefully we can force him into some errors. But the thing is, Billy Napier's still calling the plays. We don't know what's going on with DJ Lagway. It's going to be a long game and a long rest of the season for Florida. They're going to be scratching and clawing trying to get the 6 wins on a team that had the hardest schedule in 2024. They ended up 8-5. It's how the mighty have fallen. We'll see what happens. I will be watching, but expectations will definitely be low. Ben,
leave us with this. Final question. What happens in Tallahassee Saturday night between the Seminoles and the Hurricanes?
I think it's going to be a classic. I think that Florida State is going to come in very, very motivated for what didn't happen against Virginia. And I think if you are Florida State, you can definitely that with that defense that they had, that D line that they have, they can definitely find ways to put Carson Beck into some inopportune situations. But I think Miami has a really, really good D line as well. It's going to come down to the line of scrimmage for me. I do think Florida State edges a really, really good game. I think Miami has been a team that has played good, not great. I think if Florida State, wants to get that ugly loss of Virginia out of it, put it in the back burner, and Mike Norvell wants to get, Florida State faithful back on it, back on his bandwagon, they're going to have to find a way to get a big win, which I think they will against Miami on Saturday night.
Former All-American tight end at the University of Florida, my buddy Ben Troop. We also invite you to check out Ben's podcast, 84 Reasons. It is a terrific listen if you are a fan of the Florida Gators. Ben, thank you as always. We'll talk again soon, pal.
Ryan's always the best, man. Thanks for having me as always.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Get ready. Monday Night Football is coming to Everbank Stadium October 6th. And this is a matchup you won't want to miss. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are throwing it back in their Prowler jersey as they take on the Kansas City Chiefs under the primetime lights. Don't wait. Be a part of the action. Get your tickets now by visiting us online at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at the bank for primetime football.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here for, well, the best weight loss program that I've ever been on. You know, my birthday's coming up next month, and I remember my birthday last year is when about the time I hit the 100-pound mark. It took me about 9 months from starting Awaken 180 to where I got to losing over 100 pounds. A year later, I'm keeping the weight off. I'm in the maintenance program. I still get the coaching I need. I still get the dedication from the team members there that I need. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just a weight loss product where they give you a pill or give you a shot and tell you to go on your way. No, you build friendships, you build relationships, and they stay involved in your weight loss journey. If it's time for you to drop the weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. Guys, if I can do it, you can do it. Change your life and change it today with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
We've all seen the Nike logo on many famous athlete shirts and hats. But what is Nike? The answer next.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Nike is the goddess of victory. No wonder Scotty Scheffler wears that logo.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
The Friday Night Lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
It's your main man, E to the T here. And have you been to Clay County lately? It's the perfect escape and just a short drive away. Hiking, paddling, fishing, and plenty more ways to enjoy the outdoors. This month, you can take on the Whistling Death 5 and 10K. Dig into bold flavors at the annual Soul Food Festival and enjoy fall festivals all across the county. Make the call this weekend and enjoy great times and make wonderful new memories, all in our area. Check out exploreclay.com to plan your weekend adventure. That's exploreclay.com.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Thank you to Ben Troop, former All-American tight end at the University of Florida, for joining us tonight here on Hacker After Dark. What a weekend in college football coming up. You got Florida, Texas. You obviously have Miami, Florida State. Is it bad to say that I'm really intrigued about Vanderbilt and Alabama, too? How about College Game Day going to Tuscaloosa, I believe? They're going to be involved there with Alabama and Vanderbilt. Remember, Alabama lost to Vandy last year in Nashville. This is the rematch, and an undefeated Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt are heading to play the Crimson Tide. They're just coming off a win over Georgia. Obviously, you had the classic between Oregon and Penn State that went the way of the Ducks on Saturday. And the weekend started with Florida State losing in double overtime. I did not see that coming. Now, I didn't think Florida State was this great team, obviously better than they were last year. That goes without saying. But I just didn't think Virginia was very good. I thought Virginia had an offense to an extent. I didn't like their defense, and that kind of came to fruition, right? Virginia just had much more of an offense than I thought. They didn't stop Florida State really the entire game. Florida State shot themselves in the foot a couple of times, but Florida State couldn't stop Virginia either. And losing a game like that in double overtime, that's a gut punch. Now with Miami coming in 3-0 and in the top 10 in America, it could turn into 3-2 very quickly if you're Florida State. But what a scene that should be at Doak Campbell on Saturday between the Hurricanes and the Seminoles, likewise Texas and Florida, as we just talked to Ben Troop about, Vanderbilt, Alabama, just to name a few, and what is a terrific Saturday upcoming of college football. Monday Night Football going on right now, a doubleheader. The Jets and the Dolphins, the big story here, Tyreek Hill carted off the field about 20 minutes ago with what looked like a pretty significant lower leg injury. The Dolphins do lead this game over the New York Jets 24-10. Darren Waller back in the NFL, the former Raider tight end, a couple of touchdowns for Miami tonight. They lead by 2 touchdowns late in the third. And in the second quarter, about midway through the second quarter, Denver on top of Cincinnati 14-3. Bo Nix has run for a touchdown. Marvin Mims has run for a touchdown. Broncos 14, Bengals 3 midway through the second quarter. Coming up next, back into the Jacksonville Jaguars, a 3-1 start to the year. Also, Jordan DeLugo of Generation Jaguar joins me in less than 15 minutes on a Monday night here in the city of Jacksonville. We're glad you're with us. It's Hacker After Dark.
What's the deal with the show? The 1010XL Podcast Network is now available just about everywhere you find podcasts.
I mean, I think the show's going to be a huge hit.
Search for your favorite 1010XL podcast in your platform of choice.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
The 42nd Annual Wave Masters Pro-Am Surf Contest, presented by Favor Gray, is Jacksonville's largest surf event and returning to the Jacksonville Beach Pier on October 4th. $20,000 in cash will be given away for the Marker 32 Longboard Pro, the Takaloo Men's Pro, and the US Assure Women's Pro. Enter at Sunrise or Aqua Surf Shops today if you want to compete. The 42nd Annual Wave Masters Pro-Am, October 4th at the Jacksonville Beach Pier. Come watch the best surfers in Northeast Florida compete.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,600 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. But only until September 30th. 18 months financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served by Tandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out. You need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. He's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
You know, you look around the rest of the National Football League from what was a very, very busy week 4. Hard to believe, by the way. You know, bye weeks start next week. There are teams that are on byes in week 5 of the National Football League. So plan your fantasy football lineups accordingly. Yesterday in Dublin, Ireland, Pittsburgh 24-21 over Minnesota. Good game. Pittsburgh tried to give it away at the end, but DK Metcalf had a terrific outing. And Pittsburgh, a very quiet 3-1 for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, off to a great start. Chargers lose their first game to the Giants. The big story there was the Malik Neighbors injury. Just brutal. You pretty much knew when it happened that it looked pretty bad, and then reports came out that it was most likely an ACL, which will end Malik Neighbors' season. Jackson Dart did get a win as his first game as a starter for the Giants, but obviously the Neighbors injury takes precedence. The other 2 teams in the AFC South that are fighting uphill, obviously Jacksonville and Indy are tied at 3-1. The Tennessee Titans are the worst team in football, and I'm not sure it's close. They are awful. I watched some of that game yesterday, and by the way, Houston's not any good either. It was only 6-0 going into the fourth quarter. Final score was 26-0. So the outcome was not maybe as indicative of how close it was for a period. The Titans, though, are just terrible, man. Brian Callahan's going to get fired any day. He's 3-18 as the Titans head coach. 3-18. And they are, they remind me a lot of Jacksonville back in the day. I know a lot of people that cover the Titans up in Nashville. I got some buddies up there in Titans media. And a lot of the stuff they're saying, a lot of the anger I hear from their callers and listeners is quite familiar from what we've had here in Jacksonville for a long time. But hopefully that's changed now with the arrival of James Gladstone and Liam Cohen. The Eagles look like a machine. They beat Tampa 31-25. Good game, but Philadelphia pulls it out in Tampa. Buffalo still 4-0. Probably the best team in football, all outside of Philadelphia. Buffalo, the best team in the AFC. New Orleans did give them a battle for a period or two, but ultimately Buffalo just had way too much talent. Detroit has found themselves after that week 1 loss. They've now won 3 in a row as they dispatch Cleveland pretty easily. Boy, the Patriots, boy, the NFL, isn't this the NFL in a nutshell? Carolina can beat Atlanta 30-0. 30-0. Come back 7 days later, and Carolina loses to New England 42-13. How do you outscore an opponent by 30 and then 7 days later get outscored by 29? That is parity at its finest. Bears over the Raiders, really good game there, 25-24. Chicago, a nice road win. Kansas City, who comes here next Monday, had very little trouble with Baltimore, a reeling Baltimore team. They're 1-3, and they have injury problems now. Lamar Jackson's hamstring, Roquan Smith, a high ankle. Ravens have some problems at 1-3. And then last night, I hate ties in the NFL, but that was a very entertaining game between Dallas and Green Bay that ultimately did end in a 40-40 tie. Of course, the Jaguars did not end in a tie. They got a big win over San Francisco yesterday, 26-21. Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, joins me next to recap San Francisco and to talk about this 3-1 start for the Jaguars. First time they've been 3-1 since 2018. Jordan DeLugo next, right here on Hacker After Dark.
Hey there, Frank Frangie here. The buzz about topdressing.com on our airwaves has me excited. Well, they're now in Jacksonville, turning St. Augustine grass into golf course lushness. Look, I'm a passionate golfer. I know better aeration, that envy-worthy green, white glove care, detailed, tailored for me at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Process is going to begin shortly, and they say they can do it in a day. Look, I can't wait. Go to topdressing.com now. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com today.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 29th, 1954, Game 1 of the World Series, Willie Mays makes his iconic over-the-shoulder catch.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Business owners, listen up. If your plumbing or AC company keeps giving you the runaround, it's time to cut them loose. Call my friends at Duck Rooter. They already partner with some of the biggest commercial operations in Northeast Florida, like the Jaguars and station operations. Their office team makes invoicing a breeze, and their field techs, top-notch pros. Make the switch today. Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769. Tell them Frank sent you.
Swing for the future of veterans and military spouses at Operation New Uniform's second annual Patriot Games Golf Tournament. I'm Michelle McManaman.
And I'm Pete Langlois. Join us Monday, October 6th. Register today at onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Laugh to defeat prostate cancer at the Comedy and Cocktails Awareness event, featuring music, food, drinks, and of course, comedy. October 2nd at the Jesse Ball DuPont Center.
It's an evening of connection, laughter, and friendly competition, celebrating the creativity and resilience of our community with costumes, bowling, and prizes. To find out more about the Community Bowling Costume Party October 24th, contact Rebel Recovery.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at ViStar Ballpark November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
Trinity Rescue Mission helps the Jacksonville homeless community find the road to recovery by providing food and shelter, skills to enter the workforce, and breaking the homeless cycle. Learn about Trinity Rescue Mission at trinityrescue.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010xl.com.
Kuhn Flowers announces their home holiday decorating team is now taking orders for the holiday season. This is Max with 1010XL. No more hassling with tree buying, untangling, and hanging burned out lights. Call Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars 3-1 for only the second time, going all the way back to 2008 after a big victory on the road in San Francisco on Sunday. And they will now wait for next Monday night when they welcome in Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk about the 3-1 start. Let's briefly look ahead to Kansas City with Jordan Dugo. Generation Jaguar is where you find his terrific work, and Jordan's always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. Jordan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, enjoying the victory Monday, obviously. What an interesting game for so many reasons. Obviously, some drama between the coaching staffs, but a good, entertaining game. There was some sloppiness on both sides, some injuries, but it's going to be a long 7 or so days waiting for Monday Night Football, but it should be a fun week waiting for Monday Night Football as well.
And hopefully it'll be a crazy atmosphere next Monday when Kansas City comes in. You know this Jaguar fan base very well. I certainly know it very well also. They're going to eat up what Liam Cohen did. I mean, they're going to love it. When Liam Cohen had a little backbone yesterday, obviously him and Saleh exchanged words after Saleh's ridiculous stuff last week in the media about the signal stealing or whatnot. If the fan base, Jordan, didn't love Liam Cohen already, to me they absolutely do after that exchange yesterday in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think that, there's no question that sort of moment, kind of like standing up and being feisty and not just taking kind of whatever you want to call what Robert Saleh did last week, talking about legal sign stealing. I mean, there's obviously an implication that if you're stealing signs, that something about that is not above board. And Kyle Shanahan kind of didn't back down from it on Friday. Kyle Shanahan, after the game, says that Liam Cohen shouldn't be so sensitive about it. So, yeah, Liam Cohen getting in Robert Saleh's face and kind of telling him to keep his name out of his mouth obviously is going to resonate with fans of the Jaguars, because this is a city that doesn't get enough respect and a franchise that sometimes deservedly doesn't get a lot of respect. But I think right now they are earning and taking respect from the league. And so, yeah, fans are going to absolutely eat that up, and they should. It's really fun.
Jordan, they're 3-1. You were out there like I was every day at training camp. If I would have told you a month ago they'd be 3-1 through 4 games, what would you have said?
Well, I had them at 2-0, and obviously we didn't know about 2-2. We didn't know about all of the injuries the 49ers would have. Obviously, the Jags dealt with some injuries of their own yesterday, but 3-1 is a great spot to be in. It's frustrating because they should be 4-0 after what happened in Cincinnati. But 3-1 is a great spot to be in, tied for the division lead. I wouldn't have guessed that the Colts would be the team that they're tied with at the top of the division. But, kudos to them and Daniel Jones and everybody. But I wouldn't have been shocked. Again, I had them at 2-2, so it would have been a little bit surprising if you told me that they were going to go out to San Francisco and beat the 49ers. Just kind of because of history, right? I mean, the Jaguars have been horrible on the West Coast. They've been horrible against the 49ers. So going out and doing that, even when it does feel like this is a new era, a new regime, kind of some of the stuff that has haunted the team shouldn't really, have the same effect. And it didn't, a week ago. Jaguars beat the Texans in Jacksonville for the first time since 2017. And then for a second straight week, you go do something that fans are not accustomed to seeing. So it does feel like they have kind of turned over a new leaf here.
Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, with us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. And I look at the last two games in particular, the Houston game and the San Francisco game. The Jaguars probably outplayed both teams, but in the fourth quarter, I mean, a bounce here, a bounce there, and the Jaguars lose. I think they lose those games, 9 times out of 10 the last couple of years. They just haven't won games like San Francisco. They haven't won games like Houston. Yet the defense has come up with enormous plays with under 3 minutes to go in both contests.
Yeah, of course, Anthony Campanile deserves all the credit in the world for the mindset that he has instilled in the defense. Also, just how aggressive he is. It doesn't always work. Sometimes when you're aggressive, the other team's going to have a nice play. But he's remained aggressive. He's remained tricky with his defensive fronts. On the back end as well, you see a lot of post-snap rotation. It's making quarterbacks think. It's making quarterbacks and offenses a little bit less confident in what they're doing. And then you also have the fact that they are preaching and teaching how to force turnovers, not just interceptions, but also ripping the ball away. There's several plays that didn't even turn into turnovers, fumbles. You're still seeing the team trying almost every single play to rip that ball out. And it's paying dividends for them so far. I don't know if I've ever seen a defense quite this productive in the turnover department through 4 weeks. Obviously 13 total turnovers, 9 interceptions, and 4 fumbles. It's been a sight to see.
Jordan DeLugo of Generation Jaguar. We wondered, too, coming into the year, can Liam Cohen bring that running game that he had in Tampa last year? Can he bring that to Jacksonville? Because Jacksonville was, well, quite frankly, awful at running the football last year. They bring in some new offensive linemen, draft a couple of rookie running backs, and then Travis Etienne coming into a contract year. Look, we're 4 weeks in. It's a pretty good sample size right now. Jordan, they're one of the best in the league at running the football, man. Statistically and just based on the eye test, this team runs the football this season.
Yeah, they've been really impressive on the ground, and I thought that Liam Cohen would be able to get improvement out of the Jaguars rushing attack, which wouldn't have been hard to do. But I thought he could, get them to maybe like a mid-tier rushing attack, maybe, late teens, early 20s, something like that. But he has the Jaguars right now with the 3rd most yards per game on the ground. They're averaging 5 yards a carry. They're scoring touchdowns on the ground. They're picking up big chunks of yardage. They're also running it consistently. I think the low point for the running game was really the first half against the Texans when they weren't really doing exactly what they wanted to do. They kind of bounced back a little bit in the second half and then had another good game on the ground against the 49ers yesterday with over 150 rushing yards. And yeah, Travis Etienne, Devin Lloyd, 2 contract year guys. I mean, I was talking about it this morning. They're going to have to keep at least one of those guys, I think.
Yeah, both guys are playing out of their mind. Devin Lloyd is playing the best football of his career, and Etienne looks like the guy that was here in the 2023 season, 2022 as well, when he had a couple of 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Jordan, your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence 4 weeks in?
Yeah, I think everybody still kind of wants to cling to all the negatives that happen, but you just look around the league at quarterback play, and there's very few quarterbacks right now that are playing truly clean football. Are there plays Trevor Lawrence would like to have back? Absolutely. Are there plays that his receivers would like to have back? Yes. Are there maybe some play calls that Liam Cohen would like to have back? Yes. So it is not a clean operation in the passing game right now. The difference now is Trevor Lawrence does not have to be perfect for this team to win football games and to be competitive. And I think that that's pretty exciting. And I would imagine, I feel like Brian Thomas Jr. still not perfect yesterday, but probably a step in the right direction between Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. You're seeing Travis Hunter really start to make plays when he's given those. That catch he made yesterday on 3rd and 15 was, how high did he jump to get that football? I don't know.
Crazy.
That was crazy.
And it was a huge play because they went on to score later on in that drive.
Yeah, it was nuts. But so I think that, and, doing it without De'Ami Brown in this game, I think that they're headed in the right direction, but they're not where they want to be yet. And, to be 3-1 and still have a lot of things to improve on, I think is a good place to be.
Jordan, as we begin to wrap up, it's a team that was used to losing. They had lost 18 of 23 coming into this season. Now, all of a sudden, they're 3-1. And this is the point I made on the 5th quarter. Nationally, in the perception of the Jaguars, nobody cared about the win over Carolina. Not many people cared about the win over Houston. I think the San Francisco win got some attention, kind of like, that's interesting. If they beat Kansas City, then the Jaguars become a story. This is a huge opportunity for them next Monday night.
Yeah, it is. And, the Chiefs have had the Jaguars number with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and everybody. So it's another one of those opportunities to, overcome the kind of demons of the past with the Jaguars not being able to kind of hang with the Chiefs. And they have had some competitive games, like, the divisional round game was competitive. They had them on the ropes and just couldn't quite finish it. But, I think that if they beat the Chiefs, it's so funny how the narrative can flip like that. Like, even a week ago or a couple days ago, national media was like, oh, the Chiefs, they're not the same. They can't win football games. And they go out and steamroll the Ravens. And now everybody's back on the bandwagon. But I think if they win that game, Monday Night Football with the Prowlers, they get to 4-1. That will, I think that people are already going to be paying attention after beating the 49ers in San Francisco. I think that they've kind of said, hey, we're here, and people got to start paying attention. But if they do that, prime time, all that stuff, that's going to really elevate the national narrative, but also locally, right? Like, a lot of fans, they've seen a lot of bad football in Jacksonville, and they're dying to see good football. And I think if you get a win over the Chiefs, that'll really get the attention of maybe some, I think the hardcore fans have always been there, but maybe some of the people who are like kind of waiting to get back in, that would really command the attention.
There's no doubt. And not only have they not played well against Kansas City, they have played awful on national television. I mean, you go back to Buffalo last year, Baltimore in 23, Cincinnati in 23. They've just been terrible in front of national TV audiences. Again, we talk about the opportunity to change the narrative. They beat Houston for the first time here in forever. They won out on the West Coast, which is something they just simply do not do very often. They haven't beat the Chiefs in forever, and they've usually been really bad on national TV as of late. Again, you could change two narratives in one game if you knock off Kansas City next Monday night. Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar. Jordan, it's going to be a very busy week. What can Jaguar fans look forward to at Generation Jaguar leading into the Kansas City game?
Yeah, over the next couple days, we'll still be kind of reviewing and deep diving into the win over the 49ers, because as we said, there's a lot good, but there's a lot not so good as well to kind of parse through. And then we'll start previewing Jags and Chiefs, and it's gonna be a heck of a matchup in a lot of different ways, coaching wise and personnel. I mean, the Chiefs still have, in my opinion, the most dangerous quarterback on the planet, and they got some more speed that they're using on the offensive side of the ball. Still no Rashee Rice, but it's going to be a really fun matchup to preview.
The 3-1 Jaguars, the 2-2 Kansas City Chiefs, Monday Night Football here in Jacksonville. It should be one heck of a week leading into that ball game. Jordan DeLugo of Generation Jaguar. Jordan, I know you're busy. Thank you for the time. We'll talk again soon, pal.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on, Hacker.
And thank you to Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, for joining us tonight here on Hacker After Dark. As what a victory it was yesterday for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, only the 5th time the Jaguars have won a game in the Pacific time zone. They were 1-11 in their last 12 true road contests before yesterday, and for only the second time dating back to 2008, the Jaguars start a year 3-1 on the season. Big win, a statement win for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that sets up another huge opportunity 1 week from tonight as Monday Night Football comes to town with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs visiting Northeast Florida. So we certainly spent a ton of time on that, and what a college football Saturday locally we have in store for us. Florida and Texas in Gainesville, Miami and Florida State in Tallahassee, as it is probably the best, at least locally, the best football weekend of the year coming up this Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Well, that will just about do it, man. Crazy busy Monday night edition of Hacker After Dark. We certainly appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. We have a ton of people to thank. Again, Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar. Always enjoy talking football with Jordan, and we thank him for his time this evening. Thank you to my buddy Ben Troop, former All-American tight end at the University of Florida, as we talked about the issues down in Gainesville, right? The struggles of DJ Lagway, who will replace Billy Napier. It's no longer a matter of if, but when Billy Napier will be relieved of his duties. And you look nationally, there's already openings at Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, UCLA, Arkansas came open yesterday. Some decent jobs, right? So we'll see what Florida ultimately does, barring a, I'll say a miraculous turnaround, but we're probably even beyond that at this point. Again, I can't imagine the Billy Napier tenure is going to last more than another couple of weeks, but we certainly thank Ben Troop for joining us tonight. And back in hour number one, Dave Campo, the head coach. It was Monday night coaching with Campo. The coach is relocated to Dallas, but he's always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. And I can tell you the coach is fired up about the Jaguar 3-1 start. So again, thank you to Coach Dave Campo for joining us this evening. Now, we will be back tomorrow night on a Tuesday, and we will do it all over again beginning at 8 o'clock. RJ Saunders was your producer tonight. RJ, great job as always. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for spending part of your Monday evening with us right here on Hacker After Dark on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. So for all of us here on HAD, have a terrific remainder of your Monday evening, and we will talk to you again tomorrow night on a Tuesday beginning at 8 o'clock.